Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Morons Review. Today, we're doing another episode of The Mandalorian, because that's what we're doing right now. But let's not get bogged down with what we're reviewing.
Oh, I will staple myself with some shit. Tight boots, trying to be like a fucking school display shit about not getting bogged down in a hole. I'll fucking staple myself to the side of a car.
Yeah, we're reviewing episode 4, which is directed by Carl Weathers himself, Mr. Grief Karga.
Grief Karga.
Yeah,
Yes.
so starts off with Mando and Baby Yoda trying to fix the ship. Now, why Mando believes that Baby Yoda can help fix the ship at all, apart from the fact that he's small, is beyond me. Like, yeah, he's small, he can fit in the space. But has he learned any skills? Does he know anything whatsoever? Not really. Hell, I thought he was going to eat the wire, considering he's been obsessed with eating everything. But no, he just puts the two wires together after Mando tells him not to, and he gets electrocuted, and we see the smoke, and it's just like, well, he should be dead, but I guess the Force.
He was one with the forces with him, that's all we need to know.
The Force sustained him in his lifeful journeys.
But yeah, so he's like, we need to go see some old friends for repairs. I'm like, okay, let's go. And we see Gina Carano. Gina Carano for She-Hulk, confirmed.
Stronger than General Grievous.
Throwing TIE fighters anywhere. But yeah, I mean, also known as Cara Dune, smashing up some bad guys, you know, picking one of them up on her shoulders and throwing them. Just like fucking ragdolling them everywhere. And there's this little meerkat looking thing, which I've seen some people saying that they can breathe fire. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention in the episode, or if
It didn't breathe fire in the episode, but they might have.
Okay, I thought it was just me, because someone was saying that they can breathe fire. I didn't see them breathing fire. There was a charred corpse, but I thought that was just the gangsters that killed somebody.
Was it trying to sell car insurance?
Oh, I hope not.
Car insurance not covering instance of Gina Carano.
Car insurance, that's what.
Insurance is gonna kick your ass.
So yeah, Grief Karga tells one of his people to fix up the ship so it's brand new. And this person turns around and he sort of, they look a bit dodgy, they even give a little hiss, and it's just like, this guy, person, because pronouns are important, everybody. We're going to get cancelled. I've assumed someone's gender.
Oh no, lock me in my fridge, which is non-existent.
But yeah, so they look a little bit dodgy. So they go to talk, and they're talking some business. Baby Yoda's still there at this point, and Gina Carano and Grief Karga are like, yeah, we need your help. And he's like, whoa, 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 I need to go. And they're like, your ship won't be ready for a while, you've got time, and we really need your help. So then he's like, okay, he goes to go and he's like, whoa, 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 you can leave the kid here. Here is the bar that they were in episode 7 and 8, which has been converted into a school. It's the first time we've actually seen a school, like a proper school, not a military school or a Jedi school, in Star Wars. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it's led by a protocol droid, similar to C-3PO. And so Baby Yoda gets put in there, and I'm thinking, Baby Yoda can't talk. Is he going to be able to understand anything? But then I see macaroons, which I'm thinking, okay, they are going to have him eating in this episode. I thought they were going to have him go hungry.
Baby Yoda goes on a diet, that's what goes on this episode.
Wait, watch this.
Was he going vegan? I'd love to see Baby Yoda try go vegan.
Oh, that'd be quite funny.
But yes, they fed him some sand.
Grief Karga's like, this is no place for a child. And I'm just like, he's literally seen a stormtrooper roasted to death. I think he's already been places where a child should never go. Like, why the sudden concern for the child's sanity?
Plus, fucking met Cara Doom. That's already fucked your sanity up a complete nudge.
So yeah, they go into some sort of office building, and we see the blue guy from the very first episode of The Mandalorian. And I'm like, okay. And you see I guess it's the gills opening up and some smoke coming out. I'm like, yeah, I'd probably be shitting myself too if somebody frozen me in carbonite and I'm seeing them again. And then Grief Karga explains, oh yeah, he's serving off 300 and something years of his life sentence with us. It's like, that's a bit long. How long does he live? He already looks old.
Nah, he's a fish. He never dies. Well, fish do die, to be fair. But yeah, he's a fish. And he shat himself, I don't know.
But yeah, so they explain that, and then they're talking business. So that's when they have the whole conversation about, oh yeah, we could do with your help. Oh no, I need to leave. You got time. So yeah, he agrees to help them because there's a Imperial skeleton base, I believe they called it. No, it's the skeleton crew on the Imperial base. Sorry, my bad. Not thinking straight. But yeah, so they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to attack them and destroy their base, get rid of the Empire from Navarro.
We'll eventually be free and we can be respectful and trade again.
And I'm not sure if we see it at that point or if it's just later on, but there is a statue of IG11 outside.
Yeah, while they're walking to the now school bar thing, there is actually a statue outside of... Obviously, it can't be IG11's actual parts because he blew himself up in a lava river. But maybe a lot... No, we're not doing that. I went too far.
Demonetized!
Rip. There we go. It's been fun, yo. No, but, yes. So maybe of another assassin droid or of random scrap bits of metal. But yeah, they basically tried to recreate IG11, I guess, as an homage to how we helped, I guess, in a way, save Navarro from the Empire the first time round in Season 1.
Yeah, it was his sacrifice.
It's nice to see.
Into a coffee maker.
Oh, yes. So yeah, that was nice. But, yeah, so, after a little bit deliberating in the like, right, we're going to leave the baby here. We're going to go get rid of this Imperial remnant, I guess you could say, the skeleton crew. Get rid of them for good. They travel off, and obviously, per taxi service, Fishman comes along. Fishy Frank, I might call him.
His speeder.
And
they get to the door, they're trying to slice in, and he's using a plumbing tool. So yeah, always remember to bring the right tool to the job, people.
Unless you want to be here till the next episode.
Then Mando's just kind of like, I'll catch you on the other side. Flies up to the platform. We don't see him kill the bunch of stormtroopers, which I would have liked to see. But, no, oh well. I guess he is a Mandalorian, so it's not unbelievable, it's just like, I'd like to see that. So, I mean, the Empire, I mean, we did see it a lot last episode, but still, you know, would be nice.
Yeah.
And then, so, he gets them in, and then they're going through, they're shooting stormtroopers. Mando still doesn't have his rifle, which we'll talk about that in a minute, because it could have came in handy at a later point. And Mando is taking cover, even though we've seen him take blaster shots from a much heavier... Well, we've seen him take shots from multiple heavier guns, both the heavy blasters and the sniper. But, yeah, so they're going through. Fishman has to deactivate the reactor, and it's above lava, and it's high up, and that's his fears.
And he's a fish.
And then, yeah, so they're going on, and they end up in this, I don't know, this area where there's these two scientists. They have the cloning badge, although it's a little bit different this time. And they're being told to destroy all the evidence. So they do. They start shooting at the consoles. Ironically, they don't shoot out the one that they need to. But So this is where the rifle could have come in handy. Shoot them with the rifle before they even get a chance to destroy anything. More evidence. Boom. But nah, just a pistol will do. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was good. It was a good scene. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like he should stop leaving his strongest weapon at home.
You're trying to leave all that kit at home, bro. Just trying to come out in a helmet and jetpack with that cape.
just coming out like the Chad Stormtroopers from the Lego games.
Just like him in his underwear and that fucking best guy helmet and a cape, no jetpack, no shit.
Fucking beach troopers.
They're coming.
But yeah, so the blue guy goes to download it because they find out that it's a laboratory. It's not any old Imperial base, and there's a vat which has someone that looks suspiciously like Snoke, as some people have theorized. Now, I believe it could be early experimentation in forcing subjects to become force sensitive, and the subject did have a head scar in the same sort of location as Snoke, so it would make sense for it to be Snoke, or a version of Snoke. But at the same time, would they really want to make it so blatant?
Maybe,
I guess we'll see. But then they go to the console, and there is a message from Dr. Pershing from Season 1, who pleads with Mando not to kill the child. And he's talking about how there's been another catastrophic failure, and how he wants to suspend all experimentation to make sure that the next volunteer doesn't suffer the same fate. And he apologises to Moff Gideon. He's like, I will not fail you again. He says about how there's a limited blood supply because they're only able to get a small amount from the donor without killing it, which I believe is the child. Yes.
The infant.
The baby.
But after that, Mando's like, the child, because like they discuss Moff Gideon's dead. It's like, no, this message was from 3 days ago. It's like, oh shit, I gotta go. So he goes blasting off with his jetpack, which, again, why didn't he use that in other episodes to get places quicker? Like, he's more mobile on that thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, so he goes to pick up the child, and then we're following Gina Carano. I keep forgetting to call her Cara Dune, but yeah, we're following Cara Dune. Yes. Grief Karga, I was about to call him Carl Weathers, and the blue guy, who I can't remember the name of.
Fisher Price.
Fisher Price.
Fisher has a price on his head.
300 years or so.
So the rest of the episode, it's following them, and they're trying to escape because they have 10 minutes before the place blows up. And they're pinned down on this little loading bay, I believe it to be. And they're like, oh shit. And Gina Carano's like, cover me. And then she runs across. Oh, I've been disconnected. Great, while we're recording as well. Anyway, she steals a Imperial troop transport, and she's like, you waiting for an invitation? Get in. So they all rush in, and they jump off the edge, and the fish guy's like, no, and both of them are screaming, and Cara Dune's just sitting there like, pussies.
Yes.
Like, she don't give a shit. And then, so they land on Fish Guy's speeder, and he's like, is that my speeder? And it's just like, is this really the time? Fuck your speeder.
That's why they had the name cat, because he was going to offer them fucking speeder insurance. Right.
But, yeah, so then a chase ensues with the scout troopers following. 2 of them kill themselves along the way, showing how deficient they are.
They must have been on Peugeots.
And there's one on each side. Cara squashes one of them, the other one's on the top, and Grief Karga's like, nah. And he's on the gun and he shoots him. And it's like, And then the TIE fighters come along, and it's like, oh shit. And Grief Karga shoots one of them down, and it hits the gun, so the gun's out of commission, so it's like, oh shit. They're basically gonna die. And then the Razor Crest comes in, shoots them, does this cool maneuver where he's following one up, shoots it down, turns off his engines, goes back down, shoots the other one, and then starts flying again. He's also spinning while he's on his way down. Then Baby Yoda pukes up the macaroons, which I don't think we actually spoke about. Yeah, he stole the macaroons from the kid next to him in class, because he's like, he puts his hand down like, is for me? And the kid's like, give me your Sandorian.
He just did a full cow on him. Food?
And then Baby Yoda's just like, fine, I'll take them. He does the magic hand thingy.
He does the magic hand thingy.
Grief Karga will be pleased. So he steals the macaroons and he's just eating them, and the kid just looks at him like, oh no.
Not again.
My mom's gonna kill me.
God damn it.
That kid definitely gets bullied for their lunch money.
He looks Samoan, bro. It was annoying as shit.
And now they're getting bullied by a 50-year-old child.
Yes. 50-year-old child is so small, literally fucking Grief Karga could throw it at fucking someone else and it would be like, oh shit, you just killed a baby.
Yeah, Mando's in his freshly fixed Razor Crest now. Thank God we're not with that awful Mon Calamari fucking engineering shite. Because that looked bad.
It did.
I mean, the engines were struggling at the beginning of the episode, and he'd left, what, a couple hours ago? So, yeah. They're like, oh yeah, let us buy you a drink. He's like, no, I gotta go. So, yeah, he goes to fly off. They're like, you know, wishing him well. And, we've got Cara Dune, we've got Grief Karga speaking to an officer of the New Republic, the same one that we see in episode 2, so we're keeping a bit of continuity here. And, we have him sort of being like, I saw nothing, I don't know nothing. And he's like, you don't remember anything before the base blew up? He's like, no. But if I do, I'll be sure to call you. It reminded me of the crime shows where the criminal was just basically telling the cop to fuck off.
Yes.
I did kind of like it. I think Carl Weathers just suits that sort of like roguish, I don't care what you think kind of role.
He did play that very well. That is true.
And then
very well.
The officer leaves and finds Gina Carano, and he's like, you did some good work here today. And then they talk about Alderaan and about how she lost everyone and how she's not a joiner, and he leaves this New Republic medallion on the table. So, with the rumours about a possible Cara Dune spin-off, I believe that could be the way that they do it. It would make a lot of sense to me. However, it would be kind of going back on her entire story arc, considering she already left the New Republic. Because she didn't want to be the police.
She did not want to be so federal.
But, yeah, I mean... So, she goes to walk away. We don't know if she actually ends up taking the medallion or not. And then, it cuts to an Imperial Cruiser. Not a Star Destroyer, but a cruiser. And we have this woman in an officer uniform, which is kind of like a crossbreed between the Empire and the First Order, because the tunic's very much like the First Order one, with the more diagonal sort of cloth lining. But
it's like they're starting to bleed
she
into
is
new
on the
territories.
holocall to none other than dun dun dun, the mechanic. Shock and horror. Yeah, he's like, the Razor Crest is now being tracked. And she's like, you'll be rewarded in the New Order. So I believe that that's them sort of talking about the First Order. And then she goes to Moff Gideon, and, you know, she tells him, he's smiling, and then it pans out to a shot of about 20 black suits of armor, and I'm like, oh shit. At first I think, Inquisitors, no, Purge Troopers, no, wait, they're all organic, why are they just standing there? But then I thought, Dark Troopers, which were advanced droids. However, it's stated earlier in the episode that they're trying to inject Force-sensitive blood into people, so why would they be doing that if it's a droid? So I thought, little reference to Jedi Knight here. Force-sensitive stormtroopers. Now that could be really cool, especially if in the next episode we do get Ahsoka and they're following them. We have like a bunch of stormtroopers with lightsabers and force powers fighting Ahsoka and the Mandalorian. I think that could be pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, that's when the episode ends.
That is pretty much the rundown of the episode, yeah.
It was quite a fast episode, to be honest. I felt like we'd be talking about more, considering it did a lot without doing too much, if that even makes sense.
Yes.
So like, they set up a lot of things, but without having to do a lot. It all just sort of flowed through quickly, and it was just like, blink and it's gone. It's like, what the fuck just happened? That was cool.
It was a good episode, yeah. It was a very good episode. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of nitpicks here and there, like Baby Yoda fixing the ship, leaving him in a classroom that he can't even speak. He'd be probably better off, you know...
The kitchen.
Yeah, eating. And then, Mando still not having his rifle.
That rifle is gone, bro. He must have sold it to some Tusken Raiders or something.
Yeah, we should go back to Tatooine one episode and we see Cobb Vanth with it, and it's just like, how the fuck you get that shit?
Trust me. Why is this man coming out with a space pistol?
Maybe he ended up trading his rifle for Boba's armor, which is, I guess, still on the Razor Crest somewhere.
I'd assume so, but we haven't even seen it since then. But yeah, I mean, it was a good episode. I mean, there's been a few of the SJW Puritans going at Gina Carano. What they need to realise is that's a person. She is, you know, a woman. She identifies as a woman, and she doesn't feel the need to put pronouns in. And outside of that, not to get too political, because anyone that actually knows me knows that I get way too into politics. So, yeah. Gina Carano and Cara Dune, they're not the same person. Cara Dune is a character in a show. Watch the show. Don't give a fuck about what... I don't care that Pedro Pascal was, like, you know, calling half of America Nazis. Like, I don't give a shit. I like the show. I'm gonna watch the show.
Watch the show for the show.
Controversial decision here, but I still like some of the movies that Kevin Spacey was in. I think he's a right dick.
Baby Driver was a good movie, but he is a dick.
Yeah, exactly. And then even the allegations about Michael Jackson. I still like his music.
I share a birthday with the geezer.
Separate the works from the person. Simple as. So, that's our political debate for today. Tomorrow, COVID with Boris.
Oh, yes, well, lockdown, yes.
Well, not really lockdown, but anyway.
No, it's not.
This isn't a political channel. This is a Star Wars channel, which is probably going to get political at some point.
Should I cut that bit out of the recording then?
Next week we'll get Boris in to find out who took his lunch money.
Maybe some of it. The parts about it that aren't related to the Star Wars side of it, do it. Yeah.
Because there are some bits, I've got some bits to point out that I don't think we've brought up.
Go on.
So obviously we've gone over the synopsis of the episode, but also when you first see Cara Dune and she's fighting off the raiders, I don't know if we mentioned that they're in the old Mandalorian like enclave, like hideout bit. They're actually
they are.
She fights the raiders in the actual blacksmith's workshop area.
Yeah, you see where the massive Beskar
symbol,
mythosaur skull has been removed.
So that probably got scrapped and sold, or she took it with her, because we don't actually know where she went. Presumably to
I'd assume she would have taken it with her, because they are very this is ours kind of thing about it.
Yeah.
Also, one thing we didn't mention is at the very beginning of the episode, Mando lifts his helmet to have a drink.
He does actually. You see his chin.
So I don't know if it's just like, this kid's basically a part of my group, it doesn't matter. Or if it's, okay, he's met Bo-Katan, so maybe he's, you know, broadening his horizons, maybe realising Mandalorians can remove their helmets.
True.
But I don't know.
I think it's to do with the fact that, you know, McDonald's straws suck dick, so he didn't have a straw. So
It's already melted away in my drink.
Yeah, so he's like, I need a drink. And the only thing he could do was either drink it whilst lifting up half of his helmet or get one of them shitty McDonald's straws. No branding.
Yeah, I probably would have chosen the same way as him, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
It's like drinking through an arse crack. Anyway, right. Anyway.
Overall, I think this episode was good. I liked it. I don't think it's on the level of episode 3. Episode 3, for me, was just a different level. Although, I do give this one praise because you don't have to be a fan of the Clone Wars or Rebels to understand who all the characters are, essentially.
You just have to have watched the first season, pretty much.
Exactly. And I think that's something that they need to be very careful of. We said it in episode 3, we're going to say it, I'll say it now. They need to be careful that they don't rely too heavily on stuff outside the movies or its own show, because that will put casual viewers off from watching it. Yeah. However, overall, I think it was a very good episode. If I had to give it a rating, it's not as high as some of the previous ones, not as low as one of the other episodes, but I'd rate it maybe a 7. There was nothing really wrong with it. I don't know. It didn't have that whoa factor apart from like in the middle of the episode and the very end of the episode. It was very entertaining, and I think Carl Weathers did a really good job directing.
He did.
But I don't know. I don't know what it was. It had a good amount of action. It showed She-Hulk in action. And I mean that as a compliment. She looks very strong.
She's an elephant transformed.
It's a unit.
She's a whammin'. And I don't mean the SJW one. I mean as in she's wham and she's a woman.
Like Mike Tyson.
Only he's not a woman. If he was a woman, I'd be very scared. But yeah, so I'm gonna rate it a 7 out of 10. It was good. It was very good. However, it wasn't that same level of oh my god that episode 1 was for me. And well, yeah, episode 1 and 3 I think were better, but this episode just didn't quite reach that same level. So that's my overall thoughts on the episode. What about you guys?
Lamar?
I'd give it a 3/5 out. Actually, no, I'd give it I'd give it at least a set. Actually, no. Yeah, a 7 out of 10. Mainly because, it was nice to see all the characters come back. Obviously, I was a fan of the fact that She-Hulk was, beating shit out of people in the first episode, which I thought was cool. I think they need to kind of not necessarily have so many loopholes, not necessarily loopholes, like continuity errors in their episodes, because it's like people are just I'm starting to wonder where is half the shit that Mando's supposed to have. But overall, I enjoyed the episode, even if it did feel like fucking drinking out of a tea bag. But yeah, I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. Or 7, depending on if you can count.
That is high praise from Lamar, the bagel himself.
The bagel.
With no jam.
What about Chad, my guy?
And then the old man himself, what is his opinion?
He just gave his opinion.
No, Christopher. You.
Oh, me. I see. The youngest one is the old. Yes. Well, let's not get bogged down with who might be the oldest and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to stake myself on school board type shit.
Yeah, you fucking school boards, and a science block. Put you up on display. Biology at its finest, I see. Yeah. But anyway, let's not get bogged down. Right. Okay. So, I thought it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice to come back and see characters that we sort of grew attached to in a way with the first season, with Grief Karga and Cara Dune. It was nice to come back to Navarro and see how they changed it since he left, and with the Empire almost pretty much gone, if you will. And yeah, it was nice to come back and see them again, and I guess in a way you could say have fun with them again. Well, not obviously that might sound a bit weird, but you know what I mean, have enjoyable episodes with them.
I don't know if I'd want to have fun with Cara Doom. She rip you apart.
No, that's the fun of it.
She'd half like a wiener, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay, we know what Chris likes, man.
I'm joking.
He was the ripped apart.
I'm kidding. But
everyone find a way to show Gina Carano this.
Spam it in Harimas if you have to.
Hit her up on the HoloNet. Yeah. But yeah, no, but it was nice to come back and have a good episode with those characters again. Yeah, and even the fish guy, I can't remember his name, Fishman.
Birdseye.
Fishman Sam, or Fishy Frank, whatever I called him before. But yeah,
Fishy Frank.
Even though he was very minute in the first episode, well, he had a part to play in the first episode because he's the reason Mando went back to Navarro, obviously. But even though we didn't really get much from him, it was pretty nice that he was there. He was quite funny, to be fair. I enjoyed his presence on screen. It was very good fun. And yeah, overall, I genuinely found the episode quite enjoyable. I'm glad that they, even though they didn't give an answer of how Moff Gideon got back to that and he escaped with you, I don't want necessarily an explanation of how he survived, where he went, how he got picked back up, but it gave an answer as to what he's doing, and obviously we knew he'd escaped. Obviously we saw him get out with the Darksaber. But
yeah, it's good to keep us updated about the villain, especially in a show like this. It shows that there is an overarching danger for the characters.
And it was nice to instantly not just be like. It was good they didn't end the episode with just like those doors open to like Moff Gideon, where he's in that room with all those things up on the wall and whatnot, and just end it there. It's like, oh, he's back, but actually show him, have him say something. Actually, basically build up on what he's planning on doing next, because they talked about the Rosicrucians having the tracker, and what would like Dr. Pershing said about getting an M count from something in the science lab. I'm presuming that meant midichlorian count, because obviously we know of them before with Anakin. And how, like you said about having Force-sensitive troopers or whatever, how they're basically leading up to that, and that, how you said, could in theory play in with how they get to Ahsoka and have some sort of fight. So yeah, like you said, they brought him back, and built up on what he was doing next, like how he's come back, he's already back in the game again doing things. That was good, I think. They did that well. So overall, very good episode, I enjoyed that. I'd say about an 8. I'd say a 7.5 to an 8. Very high.
Okay, so the average score here would be a 7, I believe. And
around about,
yeah, I mean, the one gripe I have about the show as a whole so far is that the character with the least personality is Mando.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying he's a bad character. We don't know enough about. Well, I say we don't know enough. The other characters seem to have more of a personality so far, so I'm hoping they'll expand on that in future episodes. Hopefully, with a return to Well, I say a return to Mandalore. In the Star Wars universe, yes. In the show, it'll be his first trip to Mandalore. I feel like that could be good, and then maybe show him give him a bit more character. Because that was something I spoke about with episode 3, how the other Mandalorians seem to have more of a personality. And yeah, I mean, I do agree, it was definitely a good episode.
Yeah.
So, theories on next episode. What do you guys think?
I think they are going to get to the planet where Ahsoka is. I think they're going to get there. And I think we are going to see Ahsoka. Either for a little bit or a lot, but Moff Gideon's presence will be known of, I think. There's going to be more about him. Maybe at the end, like again, but something is going to go down with Ahsoka on the scene, and I think the Empire, or the Imperial Remnant. Not sure what. That's as much as I can theorize.
I agree. I do think that they're going to find Ahsoka. I also believe that the Empire are going to be following him.
Yeah, because they got the tracker.
And then Ahsoka's going to sort of bail him out from the Empire that is chasing him. And then maybe, I don't know, she recognises the fact that there's a tracker there, and maybe they can do a little reference to her time with Rex and Anakin, that she learnt it there. I think that could be quite cool.
Has to be something with Rex, please.
Yeah, I mean, the voice actor for the clones is in the IMDb page, isn't he?
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker, yeah, he's on the cast listing. Not said for what, but he's in the cast listing, apparently.
So I reckon it'll be some sort of recording of Rex, because if it was a real-life version of Rex, then they would probably have to use Tamura Morrison, because, I mean, he's already there, and Rex is a clone of Jango Fett, same as Boba.
We need more Boba.
Agreed. I don't know if we'll see Boba just yet. If we do, if we do see him at all next episode, I think it will literally just be a cameo. And it might just be like, I don't know, Boba Fett being hired by the Empire. Or maybe even telling the Empire to just essentially go shove it.
I want to hear him say that. Go shove it.
You can go shove your proposal up the cargo hold. And that's not a Tamura Morrison impression. I cannot do an impression. I cannot even do that accent, for God's sake.
I can do impressions, but not of Tamura Morrison. I haven't practiced that.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think, Lamar?
I think what they're going to do is they're going to find a way to kind of, like, obviously we thought this episode was going to be a bit filler, or I thought that. I'm not going to lock you guys into that. And so, but I think what we're going to do is that they're going to bring us to the planet where Ahsoka's supposed to be. And then in this episode, like the episode coming, it's just going to be them walking around the planet trying to find her, because she's probably, like, not necessarily off-world, but like she's not where they say she is. Or she's
like hiding.
Yeah. Or like she's been captured, and it's like a way to build a relationship of, oh, you came to rescue me because you need this, and I thought you man were all existing, all this other bullshit. So I mean, I'd like to see what they do, but I think the main premise would be to try and get them together to see what they're gonna do. I mean, I want to see Moff Gideon versus Ahsoka in a lightsaber fight, but I don't think we're gonna get that for another couple of seasons, maybe even a couple fucking episodes.
Something like that would be cool. Ahsoka fighting someone, and Moff Gideon would make the most sense in a way.
Yeah. Let's just hope Moff Gideon isn't old, is you know, still young enough to move his arms up in the air with that fucking body on, and
He goes back to the chicken shop.
Oh no.
Gus Fring's back.
He needs to wash his hair out, but we're not talking about that.
Oh lordy, that's
So,
quite funny.
yeah, that was our moronic Mandalorian review.
Oh, that should be the name of the series. We should name the playlist that Moronic Mandalorian Review.
Oh yes, that's a good point.
At least name
As some people may have noticed, I've started adding thumbnails into it. I've been using Paint 3D.
Yes.
And I've put all of the reviews into a nice little playlist that you can find all of them. And yeah, so go check that out, I guess. Although if you're watching this episode, you've probably seen the other reviews.
I would hope so. You've got to watch them in order.
Yeah, because that might give a bit of insight as to the jokes we make.
Yeah.
But yeah, whose turn? I think it's Chris's turn to do the outro this time, isn't it?
I thought
I did last time.
Lamar did the first two, so I think we should do 2, 2, and 2.
Nah, you do it.
Oh.
Gee, we don't need that many fours in the square, bruv. Just allow it, man.
What's in the square? Right. I'll try. I don't remember it word for word, but I'll give it a go. Right. Hang on. I'm stuck. There you go.
Right. Okay, let me just take this from you, because you trying to cock block on that, innit? Right.
I get nervous.
Right. We're gonna have to cut all this out. Anyway, right. So that's the end of the show. If you didn't like what you got, tough luck. Come back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Fuck off and do one.
Alright. I'll replicate that. I'll do my best. Alright, so that was the show. If you did enjoy it, do yourself. But if you did enjoy it, come back again. Same bat time, same bat channel. Fuck off.
I just realised I'm in a game on my own.
He is. He's not with us.
Fuck it. I'm playing with the Resistance. This is dookie, bro. You let me play with the Resistance. You man are hoes, bro. Fuck all that nonsense. I'm not trying to
That
play with
wasn't me, that was Chris.
I should have kept that in the video. I should have recorded.
You're a hoe.